very calm heart, and he was very warm and caring, and
Oh,
I love the little guy so much. If he's outside right now, but if he was here, he would like literally just sleep on my shoulder.
oh.
He's such a wonderful little guy. Absolutely worth the purchase.
Aw.
Absolutely love little guy. Would not have anything else. 'Cause
Mhm.
he's easy to train, and he wakes up every night. So I can't have him in the office all the time.
Aw. Very
Yeah,
cute.
yeah.
Cute
Wait,
little dog.
are we online?
Yeah, we are. I was just
Oh, shoot.
We're like,
there's conversation, it's natural, it's flowing.
yeah.
Might as well go live when the counter goes down and all of that. But welcome, guys, to No Grade Sessions with James, Otaku Builder, with us today. And we get to see his beautiful face this time.
Yes, a better camera.
We get to see his face. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just wrapped up 3 builds and finishing up things up at my grandfather's house that's going up for sale around September. So me and my wife and my aunt have been working on trying to get that house up to the selling potential the last 4.5 months.
Okay.
So trying juggling doing that and then doing model kits.
Mm-hmm.
So either choose one or the other. Got to help family first. So
For sure.
that's what I
For
need
sure,
to do.
for sure. It's very noble, very nice. And how about you, Derek and Sean, who are also with us? How are you guys doing?
Oh,
I'm doing okay. I mean, getting some positive things in life recently, which is always good.
Yeah.
And successfully completed a review without breaking my computer, so I'm doing pretty good.
Nice. And you, Derek?
good. Busy day. Very happy to be back. It's gonna be fun. And especially the topic. The topic.
Yeah, so talking about the topic, I know that James, it was super last minute, all of this, and so I asked and you're like, yeah, for sure. Let me confirm, but we were going to be talking about video games, so I thought it was really funny how you started talking about Ghost of Tsushima earlier, just out of nowhere. It's like you kind of already knew the wavelengths, and And at the end of the day, we have Sean to thank for that because he was like, "Hey, let's talk about video games." Because last time we did video games, so I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
End of the day,
Video games part 2.
whatever we talk about is going to come out naturally, and we'll just go along with it, which is basically what we do here on No Great Sessions today. But yeah, let's start off with Ghost of Tsushima. Like you were talking about it. Like, why do you like the game? Like, because I've never played it. I've never played Ghost of Tsushima.
What?
Yeah,
Oh.
neither have I.
What?
I'm out of here. I'm good.
I'm so.
He's just gone.
I'm so.
No.
Oh.
Ghost of Tsushima is such a fantastic game. Probably like the best of the PlayStation 4 games that came out towards the last end of the generation. It's heavily optimized. The soundtrack's great. The story's pretty rock solid.
Yeah.
And what they were able to crush out of the PlayStation 4 hardware is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, even on a decent 4K display TV with like 30 or 40 hertz at a good speed, it's just amazing what you can see with all the particle effects and the dynamic lighting, and just the overall environment is just it's creepy, but it's good. It's a good kind of creepy. And the last time I had that experience was Zelda Breath of the Wild, but I kind of one and done and then took off. Ghost of Tsushima, I came back to that game like 5 times. After the 5th time, I was kind of sad, like, oh crap, I just platinumed it. Oh. Well, I guess I'll just wait for part 2 when it comes out for the PlayStation 5, but
Yeah.
that's not going to happen because I can't even get a PS5.
Well, no,
But
not
it's super, super nice that Sucker Punch was just like, hey, you get it. We're going to favor for both platforms. One, it's not going to be better than the other. Even with like the new performance enhancements for the PS4,
Yeah.
it's still at a rock solid 60 frames.
Yeah.
And I know that's like a term that's kind of said loosely, but it makes a big difference when you look at something at 60 frames, and then when you get even more fancier, boost things up to 120 hertz,
Yeah.
and your eyes just start to hurt. But it's like a good kind of hurt,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I've only played about maybe 7 hours of it so far. I'm not doing all like the main missions. I'm just doing all the side quests because that's like literally the best part about the game. You know,
Yeah.
not moving forward to what the story's about. Just doing all these little side missions, get to know what's happening with civilians that are dealing with the Mongol invasion,
Yeah.
and dealing with their own personal struggles, family, relationships, failed marriages, or even the animals in the world. They're absolutely great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going off it right. It's
it's okay. This is what this is for. There's
a good game, and I'm gonna jump back and play it once I'm done talking with you guys. But that ain't gonna happen after I'm done finishing editing. So that's like something I'm looking forward to playing when I have some downtime. But yeah if you get a chance, check that game out, man. It's beautiful.
I
absolutely love it.
The thing about it, like for me, I can't get back into playing on the console anymore unless it's a game that's only for the console. Especially with the whole thing that you said about the 30, 60 FPS thing. Like you said, it's very loosely used, and I know that people who play on PCs overuse it a lot. But there is a very huge difference between playing locked on 30 FPS as to playing 60 FPS. So much that even like Horizon Zero Dawn, which my wife is actually playing right now. Well, she would be playing if we weren't live, but she was playing before we got on. On the PS4 natively, it's on 30, right? And I love that game so much that I ended up buying it on Steam, just so I can play it over 60 FPS on my computer, and it just feels so much better. There's just that smoothness. But Ghost of Tsushima was one of those games that I wanted to get, and I know that Derek loves that game. So Derek, why do you like it, man?
Dude, it's the theatrical. They actually have a theatrical mode and made it like the movie, and it just feels like you're in it.
Yeah.
Was it Kurosawa mode? I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I think it's Kurosawa mode.
Yeah, it was so nice. And I don't know. I think as much as the main story, like just doing everything in that game, it just felt great, and you just want to do it and just finish it, and then you get it, and it just keeps on giving you more. I just want to keep on playing it. Like I lent it to a friend already. Funny enough, it was yesterday. I just lent it to him. So I was, dude, if I knew, by all means, both my bros, they never played Ghost of Tsushima. I was like, dude, you guys take this, play in tandem.
I mean, we live in the same house. We can borrow one game and share it between us.
Okay, both you PlayStation fan. I do want to thank LBGS2 for following us. Thank you, and hi there, buddy.
He says hello there, General Kenobi. I think that's what he calls
General Kenobi.
And then we have Gunpla Ghost who says PC Master Race for sure.
Oh, for sure.
There's to me, again, there's nothing ever since I got a PC that's powerful enough to play the games at over 60 or whatever. Again, overused, but I promise you that once you play even just at 60, it feels so good. And I'm sure that when you get to 120, 144 hertz with the new monitors and all of that, it feels so much smoother. It feels like butter already on 60. But how about you, Sean? What have you been playing, man?
Well, I mean, Derek and I have been doing a weekly run of the Borderlands games with Kevin, so there's that. Also going to be starting up streaming Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory right around the corner here. Other than that, I mean, I finished off Super Robot Wars. Was it V that I borrowed from you, Derek? Or was it?
Yes.
No, it was T? T, V, X?
V, E.
It's V? But yeah, no, that's kind of about it for me. I mean, between work and streaming, I don't get really the time to play anything other than what I'm streaming, so...
Yeah.
How many hours have you clocked in Borderlands, buddy?
We've clocked 7 episodes at roughly about 2.5 to 3 hours each.
So 21
That's
hours?
a lot of hours.
Like a
yeah,
day.
Something like that.
Have you played Borderlands, James?
It bricked my 360.
God damn.
Okay.
It bricked it, and that was the first one.
The first
it bricked it. Yeah, but I did actually have a lot of fun. I did play with one of my old friends back in the old 360 days. His name is Ryan Kavanaugh, and I love the universe. I love the setting of it. I've never really played anything that has like a Mad Max / cyberpunk style. It was just really, really different from something that I was growing up liking as a kid. I miss it. I just don't have any interest in the franchise anymore. You know, it was unfortunately on the same kind of expiration date like you would see Assassin's Creed. I don't know how to compare the two. It's just like Yeah, we're gonna get one every year, every 2 years. Great. Change it up a bit. Nope, it's gonna stay the way it is. All right, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
But I did love Borderlands so much, man. It was great. I just hate the fact that, the early days with the 360, it just bricked systems like left and right.
Yeah.
Borderlands bricked it. Fallout bricked 360s. I had to return that system back. So
Fallout 3?
yeah, it was really fortunate that Microsoft was like taking consoles back that were getting the red rings of death.
Yeah.
Remember those
After
days.
the third one, it started to produce white smoke.
What?
So I was like,
Oh God.
that could be a number of things. Probably a failed power supply.
It's just something you don't want to be near.
Yeah.
I had Mass Effect 2 actually trash the video card in my Halo 3 edition Xbox 360. So,
Oh,
How do
but
you
I
guys?
still hold on to it because it's a gorgeous looking console.
I can't. I don't. I've always heard the horror stories behind 360s, but I feel like I'm one of the lucky people who've got. I got one in 2008, right? But I got the arcade version, so I didn't even have a hard drive. It's when my dad.
Yeah.
My dad
Yeah.
bought a 20 gigabyte Chinese hard drive that went along with it, and that thing survived. And I think it just died 3 years ago.
damn.
Damn.
Like one of the OG, like, and even have the silver plating in the front, just the arcade version that came with the Sonic game, and that's it. And
Yeah, the
but then
replaceable faceplate.
yeah.
that.
Well, I painted mine. I painted mine red. Now that I think about it, that was my first time. It was with aerosol cans or whatever, and I painted it red. No priming, just straight on.
Oh, sure, yeah, man. All in.
Yeah.
I was trying to get like a whole thing.
Those first generation 360s were just a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was working at Radio Shack. I had so many exchanges and warranty issues with those things.
Oh, damn.
I had a graveyard full of those because everyone trying to do the wet towel method after it overheated,
Oh
try
my
to put
God,
it on
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
They realized it's soaking up all the water. I said, yeah.
That's not
I
good.
didn't know that there was a wet towel technique. I knew
You
there
didn't
was a
know
dry
that?
towel. I knew about the dry towel. I didn't know about a wet one.
There's a wet one, yeah. A lot of people came out with a lot of janky shit to try to fix it, and it just didn't work. This is like, this is defective. Just send it back. Send it back.
Yeah.
Well,
gotta
that
wait
was
3 or 2
that was the
weeks.
problem. My Halo 3 edition was like 2 months past the warranty expiry.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Damn.
Damn. That's that nice green one with the orange chrome. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have that one. Damn. I feel you. Feel you.
But I can't get rid of it because it looks so good next to the Master Chief helmet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We have Gunplay Ghost who says, did Microsoft get a lawsuit from that? I think they did.
I think there was a class action.
Let me
yeah.
let me see. I'll research that right now while you guys keep talking about that.
Well, if we're talking about those 360, it's funny because you just finished we were talking about the Zone of the Ender game. Play the remastered. I actually just downloaded the second runner, the edition remastered onto my PlayStation 4. I started playing on the VR. That was the worst idea of my life.
It's so janky.
Oh man, I was getting rattled without physically there, and I'm like, what the heck? I was getting motion sick. I was like, okay, I guess I shouldn't.
Oh, I commend you, man. I can't get into VR. Even if it's like easily accessible to buy right now, I just can't get into it. I don't know why. I almost bought the PlayStation VR for Zone of the Enders just for the hell of it. But fortunately, I have a very strict wife that prevents me to get things like that.
That's commendable.
Is it going for food? No. Is it going for work?
Oh, does your wife want to talk to my wife? Because they get along.
She would be more than happy with that.
Yeah.
Although she'll be too focused looking at the camera, like, I'm not used to this. I don't know how you do this, Poppy.
So, according
No, but I mean
to
that in a nice way.
No, for sure. Tom's Guide says, according to DailyGameNews.com, the lawsuit also alleges that Microsoft purposely concealed the excessive failure rate in fear of losing its competitive edge over the imminent launch of the PlayStation 3 and Nintendo Wii consoles. So they did get sued, and it exists only in Sacramento County Superior Court. So it didn't go like nationwide or international or anything. So that's the only
Of all
lawsuit.
places, Sacramento.
Yep. That's the only place where, to my research, to my 2 minutes on Google, that's what it says.
So you're saying what happened actually at the store level when that all launched and happened?
Yeah.
Was then I got a newsletter from Microsoft. Basically, if you plug it in at the store, we actually had a power plug built into each of our counter, so we could test it. If it was a red ring of death, we were actually supposed to give them a loaner unit, a loaner core unit, while we send off their machines to get repaired, free of charge. Now, here's the funny thing. We did that for about half a year, I think, with Source. And the funny thing, what happened was nobody returned the core units.
Of course not.
Well, why would you?
Exactly. So it's funny. We were at one point. I just decided that we should just, keep on moving them. So once we get back their core unit, we say, well, this goes screw things up because I know all the serial numbers won't match anymore. So here, guys, here's another loaner unit. So we just it didn't seem like anybody really cared because the warranty was pretty much void at that point. So
no, that's crazy. They definitely messed up. But I mean, I think in general, a lot of companies lately have been messing up when it comes to video game stuff, right?
Look at Nintendo.
Yeah. Joy-Con drift.
Oh,
Jesus.
I mean, I lucked out. I got 3 years out of my Joy-Cons before the drift got really bad.
Same here.
So I mean, yeah. I and honestly, like I sent them off to Nintendo Canada. Took 3 days to get there, and it was back in the mail over at the next day.
what?
And it was already back at my place within like 2-3 days. It took almost no time at all.
Interesting. I need to get that fixed. I think that's kind of the key reason why they're quote unquote putting off the Switch Pro until they get this situation resolved. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But they're very coy about the situation, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, just do what Microsoft did. Say, yeah, we screwed up, and here's what we're doing.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong being wrong. Shoot, own up to it.
Yeah. Look at the entire automotive industry in 2007. Oh, your airbags might kill you?
Yeah,
Our bad.
right?
We're sorry. The South Park episode. We're sorry. Oh man. But
Yes.
yeah, but even like with what's up, Derek?
Oh no, keep on going.
I was
Go
gonna
first.
say like even in general, like what's going on with Blizzard, what's going on with just like even companies that aren't even talked about anymore. I think we talked about this last time, like Konami and stuff, who are literally just sitting on golden eggs and they're doing nothing with their IPs.
They're making pachinko machines. Like,
Yeah, I don't get it, man. Like,
but I mean, look at even the platform we're on right now. There's issues going on with Twitch right now, like with
The gambling situation, right?
No, the hate raids. The hate raids that are going on right
Oh,
Yeah.
hate raids.
now. Yeah.
oh, wow. You're the second person I've heard about this. Wow.
What are those exactly?
Basically, people are targeting members of the LGBT or people of color with essentially hate attacks.
Ah, I
Ooh.
see. Well, that sucks. Like,
Yeah.
the thing is, one of the problems I feel, and before, I mean, I don't want to get political, but I think one of the problems that happens in general with like the internet is that if we want it to stay free and open for us to do whatever we want, right? But how do you regulate that? And I don't know, there's so many things that you kind of just have to depend on people to be decent people.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. It's difficult to want that or to have that all the time. But yeah, no, that's crazy. It says Gunpla Art says, guess as humans we can't have good things because for every good thing that has been invented, someone turns it into something bad. Yeah, a lot of times, yeah,
Not wrong.
it happens. It
We're
happens.
human. We're
Yeah,
human.
But like, so question, like, what video games are you guys most excited about, like coming out anytime soon?
Coming out?
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of surprised to say this because I was actually not very excited about it when it was initially announced, but Pokemon Arceus. I'm honestly, like, the second trailer and what they showed during that Pokemon Direct, I was like, okay, I'm sold. That this actually looks like it'll be fun.
Oh, neat.
I haven't even heard of that. Like, I stopped. I haven't played Pokemon
Breath
games in
of
so
the
long.
Wild.
It's literally Pokemon Breath of the Wild, but the idea is instead of the long turn base,
Yeah.
here everything's live. There's no loading or any transitional. You're just free running around catching Pokemons.
For the Switch, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well, it's Nintendo's baby. It's Nintendo in
Yeah.
it, so.
Yeah. How about you, Derek?
Well, there's 2 games, but now depending on money situations and moving along with my lifetime, actually, Gunpla Ghost was right. Diablo 2 that just got started. I think just yesterday or the day before. That's actually really.
I think
cool.
it's the beta version, right, or the early access.
Yeah.
That I have to get my hands on because I missed that game from ages ago. But right now, I'm actually between the new Metroid.
Oh, yes.
Red, yes.
Yes.
I really want to play that, even though I hate, and anybody who really knows me, I hate jumping games. I absolutely detest jumping games.
He's terrible at platforming.
Like, don't ever play like the Mario with 4 players. I'm always the one that's bubbling at the end of it. I'm sorry, but I still love the game because it's the story of it. I really enjoy it.
We asked him to jump on a roof in Borderlands, and he falls off about 5 times before he gets there.
Yes, that is up there. I'm actually really excited. Actually,
that's a good one.
That is really going to be a good one. I'm excited to see what they did after so long. They haven't actually touched anything from Metroid for so long. So
yeah, I'm still holding out till Prime comes out.
This will be a good holdover, I think, though. And I mean, Retro's doing Prime 4, so it's going to be at least as good as the first 3.
Yeah.
Hopefully, no motion controls, because that's my biggest issue with 3.
Yeah.
Gunpla Art mentioned Splitgate, and
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
I've never heard of that either.
I've been playing that. Well, I haven't. That's a lie. I haven't been playing it. I played it for like 2 nights because it's kind of like a combination of Halo and Call of Duty and Apex and just a bunch of stuff and Portal. More than anything, they call it a Halo Portal combination.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know if you guys have played Portal 1 or 2.
Oh, of course.
Because those things are a classic, but it's a pretty good game.
I've heard nobody is using the portal mechanics, so it's kind of
well, they're useless.
From what I've seen on, I think it's called highlight reels on YouTube. There are some janky shit that some dudes have been doing.
Yeah,
and the game actually looks kind of fun, in my opinion. After you mentioned the title, I was like, I think I've seen it on highlight reels.
Yeah.
It looks really fun. It's obviously an indie game, so it looks rough around the edges, but the performance of the game and the gameplay mechanics are pretty solid. It is like playing Halo and Portal at the same time. Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah,
I'll probably check it out.
Yeah,
it like I said, it's a fun game, but I do agree with Sean. Like for me, the Portal seem useless, especially when you can just run in and gun. Right, like it's because like there's a gun on there that genuinely feels like the DMR from Halo. And it's so easy to just go around headshotting people. So there's really no reason to... I mean, I understand maybe it's because it's so early that people haven't really learned the full potential of using the portals. But they just kind of feel like a tagged-on little thing that doesn't really do anything other than look cool sometimes. That's it.
Yeah, that's kind of like the same situation with Rocket League. You know, people just like, you drive, you hit the nitrous, and you hit the ball.
Yeah.
Now you see dudes doing trick shots, triple barrel spins.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally had the talk with my wife this morning. I was driving her to work. I'm like, remember the good old days we played Rocket League? She's like, yeah, you just hit the nitro, hit the ball and the goal. Yay, confetti. And then we saw, I believe it was a tournament for Rocket League a little bit over a couple months ago. And we just watched these pros just doing really stupid stuff, but it looks good.
Yeah.
Like, really good. Like, stuff that I know I can't wrap my brain around it. These guys are thinking, like, 4-dimensional. And I'm only thinking 2D.
Yeah.
And, you know, the mechanics are there. People will figure it out. It's just, they got to make it look flashy.
Yeah.
And they're going to do it.
Yeah. Well, that's with any, like, competitive game or game that's multiplayer is that comes out, people have to learn the game, and after a while, people learn the mechanics. And you see it all the time, especially with, like, competitive ones, like I remember playing League of Legends back in the day when certain mechanics were really difficult to do. But eventually, you know, people who climbed the ladder of the ranks got really good at that. But you start seeing the skill drip down to everybody else who was okay-ish. And so everybody can do the mechanics at once. So it's the same thing for Rocket League, where eventually people find the potential. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there. Derek, you were gonna say something?
I just realized something. Hey, Sean, what we were talking about when we were drinking about there's an upcoming game on the Switch.
Oh yeah, Super Robot Wars 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're a fan of Super Robot Wars. I like the
Yeah.
chess.
I like to just frustrate Derek with my stupid tactics.
I have never played Super Robot Wars. I don't even know what it's
Same.
about. I don't
It's
even know
a
what's going on.
tactical RPG about, well, super robots and mecha and all that. It's a big crossover game.
You toss anything from Mazinger to Gundam to what's a spaceship Yamato. Everything is shake up into a bottle and you call it a game.
Yeah.
Where there's some basic interdimensional rift somehow throw everything together and you want to save it all.
But what Derek hates is that I invest all of my money and skills into characters like Patrick Colasauer.
I just because I'm looking at pictures of it, this is just like a JRPG or something, right?
It's a tactical RPG,
Tactical.
kind of like XCOM.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Reminds me a little bit like of GameCube and Game Boy games.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's classic. It's a classic.
It's a legit.
Add more recent stuff in there. Like the
Yeah.
most recent one, like Sean and I were playing, it has the new like Ava suits all in there.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Great.
Super Robot Wars V has Ava, Full Metal Panic, Yamato, a bunch of the Gundams.
Yeah.
They have always flash units in there, so I like that.
It has Hathaway's Flash. It has Gundam 00.
Yeah.
I see a screenshot here with Cowboy Bebop.
Yep. There's one with that too.
That's the T.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one. But
Yeah.
that's our game. How about Jess?
Another one.
You ask everyone here what's some upcoming game. What's you thinking of a good game that's coming out?
Frankly, like honestly, like I think I told Sean yesterday or 2 days ago that my wife finished God of War on the PS4 and she absolutely loved it. And the only game that I'm really looking forward to right now is basically God of War Ragnarok, and that's the only reason I would even just buy a PS5 is to play that game. Because I think God of War 2018 is the best game to exist on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it is.
I think that, and just like one of the really cool things that I think James said, even it also goes back to God of War, is the last game. Like I understand the whole Ghost of Tsushima pushing the PlayStation 4, because those games stay with you, and that's the reason why I love God of War 2 for the PlayStation 2, because it was one of the last games to come out of the PlayStation 2 before the PlayStation 3 came out. And if you look at those cinematics, even now on YouTube, you're like, how did the PlayStation 2 even manage to pull those things? Mm-hmm. You know, like it's so crazy that you know, games like that push the boundaries of what we can do, and even playing it on because we have a 4K TV, right? And we don't have the PS4 Pro. Well, I don't. I know Sean does, but we play on the Slim.
We do.
We play on the Slim, but even then, like even at 30 FPS on a 4K, playing on HDR is, oh my god, like it's like, holy god, how did they even make this happen? So yeah, God of War Ragnarok, because I don't really look forward anymore to like single player games, and I know like people might crucify me for this, but for me, I just kind of stopped playing single player games, not because I don't like them, it's just I prefer to play with my friends.
Sure.
So like
Yeah.
you know, and of course I think Derek and I were talking about this because we were in agreement a little bit about, like, for example, I play a lot of Warzone right now. So I'll be playing Warzone like every night. Like if I have anything to do, I don't care. After a certain hour, I don't exist to anyone. I'm gonna play Warzone. Just leave me alone, right? But to me, it's just playing with my friends. And I think right now we've been doing GTA 5, just doing heist all the time, prepping heist. But it's just playing with my friends. Like if I'm not with my friends online, I will not be playing video games. I will not play video games. Just I can't. I just rather have the laughs and the stupid stuff that goes on than just to sit there alone and play a game. Because I already did that in my past, like when I was younger, just play a lot of games. But nowadays it's just more like I just want to have fun with my friends, you know?
Yeah.
That's just kind of
I just miss the days of LAN parties. That was when multiplayer gaming was fun, was with LAN parties and that.
I disagree. I think multiplayer games are fun even now, even without the LAN parties. I think LAN parties gave it a more personal touch of hanging out together and like laughing at each other.
Well,
But I think
that's the big thing. I miss being in a room with my friends doing stupid shit while we're doing stupid shit in the game.
And screen cheating.
Yeah, quit screen cheating.
yeah, that
I'm not.
Yeah, totally. You just magically know I was coming around the corner. You pistol me right in the face.
Like the
Totally.
moments when you're playing Halo and your buddy is gonna shotgun you and you stick a plasma grenade to his nuts and blow him up, and he just looks at you and like he's got these eyes of I want to stab you right now. Like you just can't get those in like over online, right?
True. That's true, man. I miss that. I miss the good old days.
I mean, I still disagree because I played on both sides, on LAN parties and multiplayer, and I play a lot of multiplayer now online. So even with my friends, there are nights where we literally have our Discord cameras on. Literally with 2 screens. I understand, 2 screens, not everybody has 2 screens, but having that, being able to play with them, being able to still hear each other over Discord, I think it's more about what kind of friends you have and if they're all available to play at that time, and you become literally a family. Like I just would not. It's hard for me to play with other people that aren't my friends, and I know that sounds weird, but it's just we've already gotten used to. So like when we talk about our day, we talk about everything. So it's still the same thing. Being able to do it every time without having to go to somebody's house, I think is also something that, of course, we all like to live in the old days. I wish I could go back and play Halo Reach with my friends at home, right?
Yeah.
But I think things have really kind of. I think we're spoiled now with multiplayer games, and we just kind of forget how cool it is. I feel personally.
Hey,
Derek.
Gunpla are say redeemed for a posture check for everyone here.
Oh right, yeah, posture check, guys. Stretch out your back, make sure that you guys are feeling well.
Adjust the lumbar on the
Yeah,
chair.
I was about to say the lumbar support.
Yeah, that's
Except it's too low on mine.
Thank you for that. Draws says God of War was a fucking goat of a game. They're probably making a trilogy, so they might not release God of War Ragnarok. And then Gunpla said it was GOAT on PS2 and it was GOAT on PS4. Yes. Yes. Yeah, God of War is one of those games that I think I already mentioned it. I forgot who it was with the whole fact that I used to play it a lot when I was younger and nobody wanted to play it, but nowadays everybody's like, oh my god, God of War. And it's like, I told you about it in the past.
I like how you said it. That should be like a clip. Like, hey, what game are you playing? I got a war. All right, cool.
Wait, and God of War isn't even my favorite game. My favorite series of a game is Devil May Cry.
Oh, which one though?
yeah.
Devil May Cry 3 is my favorite.
Okay.
Then it's
the
Devil...
Ninja Theory one.
I was gonna say he secretly likes DMC.
Yeah.
Look,
God,
I'm
years.
not gonna be an apologist for that game because I don't think it's the best game, but I played it and it is genuinely fun. If you go into it just playing it as a game, it's fun. If you go into it as a DMC fan, because I am a hardcore DMC fan, if people ask me about Devil May Cry, I'll answer any question you want. But if you go into it as a DMC fan coming from 1, 2, and 3, and even then, us DMC fans don't really talk about DMC 2. But DMC, if you just go into it as a game, it's fun. The mechanics are great. The visuals are awesome. Sure, it's a whole new take on Devil May Cry and Dante and Virgil and their story, but I still think it's a good game on itself. I just think people always criticize it because you have the amazing Dante with white hair and all of that. I do disagree with Ninja Theory though when they basically took a shit on the fans when he put on the white wig and then he took it off and he's like not in a million years and it's like bro like how dare you even say that? You know what I mean? But speaking of series, what are your favorite series of games, guys?
I mean, I think it's pretty much common knowledge that my top 3, well, actually, top 5 are Pokemon, Dead Space, Mass Effect, Halo, and Metroid.
You have to choose one.
Of all the things I can't remember, well, if that's the case, I'm going to go Dead Space.
Cool.
All right.
What are you, James?
Too many to say.
Hey.
Got a big of a sweet spot for the Sonic video games. Played them when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Still play them as an adult. They're not any better, but Sonic Mania did fix that. But
They're comfort food.
they are, yeah. Fatty, delicious. Not nutritional at all. Yeah, eat it up. I would honestly say my favorite game series is the Metal Gear series.
Ooh.
I don't know why. I don't know why, because I didn't like the game at the time. I just don't. But now as an adult, I'm like, oh yeah, I like it because it's a fictional story. It has mechs. It's something that calls there's a virus called Fox Die.
Yeah.
No, we're affiliated with the coronavirus at all. No, of course not.
No.
You know, it has a killer ass soundtrack.
Yeah.
Relatable and enjoyable characters. Bosses are wacky and kooky, but they're memorable.
Yeah.
I mean, just like I always look forward to going back to playing the MGS games, especially Metal Gear Revengeance. Right.
Oh, that's such a good game. Oh my God, yes,
it is.
Such a good game.
Love it. Yeah, those. Yeah, without a doubt.
That's such a good. Oh my God, that is such a good game, man. You're so right. And
Rules of Nature.
Yes,
I love that soundtrack.
Oh, that's. I remember I played that game. I finished playing that game when I first started getting into League of Legends, and then eventually they brought out Yasuo, and then for that, the first skin they came out with him was literally what's the guy's name that he fights? Raiden, the other sword guy.
Can't remember.
But you know the guy with the long hair and stuff that he fights at the end at the side of the road after motorcycles or whatever. And but yeah, the skin that they made for him, the project skin, was literally that, and it's just that callback of that game was so cool because of the sword and everything. It's amazing. I love that. That's such a good choice, man. Hideo did such a good job with that. How about you, Derek?
Oh shoot!
Actually, Hideo had no relations with that game. He just gave it to Platinum Games and tell them to do whatever you want.
Oh no!
We screwed up.
Yes.
You know.
No. I mean like Metal Gear Solid in general, where it came from. Yeah. He did a good job in planning that world, right? Never mind what they did with the whole Metal Gear zombies thing or whatever.
That's not a thing.
That is a wonderful coaster. I can tell you that right now. Jesus.
Come on, Derek.
If I was to go with up until the very end, and this is the first time I was always been an Xbox fan. It's Halo. If it was all-time favorite. It's literally, I'm sorry, Jess, I just love having the buddies around me, and nothing screams this grin when I go shoot you with a Spartan laser. Blank, and snipe you out of the sky.
And I've already stuck the plasma grenade to your balls.
Eventually to teabag him.
Keep on kicking each other on the sofa while we're still trying to shoot each other.
I didn't know you liked Halo that much to the point where it becomes your favorite series. Really?
Actually, if I go downstairs right now, I actually have a copy from Halo 2 because I only started when I moved to Calgary, Alberta.
Yeah, when you moved to Civilization.
And I bought my Xbox 360. That's my first game console I bought for myself before the Wii.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I bought every single collection of Xbox for Halo.
Yeah.
And I just had a blast. It's like every single time. Me and my buddy Alex, we would go wait in line at GameStop in the morning, then take it straight. Oh, no, we had to stop at the 7-Eleven, grab our Slurpees, grab our snacks, and a Red Bull, and then head straight to his apartment. And I called my work, say, I'm not going to be in for the next 2 days. Don't worry, I'm okay. And we just game it out, beat the story mode, rush it, then go straight to multiplayer for like about 6-7 hours.
Yes.
Great thing ever.
Yes.
Did that for every one of them up until Reach. And that was it.
Yeah.
Myself a PlayStation 4.
You mean arguably the best
Halo
one?
3. Well, Halo 3, like my buddy Beaver and I, we sat outside of Future Shop till midnight, or just right around midnight, grabbed the game, got back to my place because his basement was unfinished and not really that comfortable to hang out in. And we played Halo 3 right up until about 6 a.m. And my parents called in on behalf of both of us to school, so we didn't have to go in that day.
Oh, that's adorable.
It's good. I mean, you enjoy a game so much. Like my mom was the one to do this more. Was whenever I pre-ordered a game, she would let me stay like the whole night playing and not go to school the next day. Not because she was irresponsible. I mean, for one, I was always like a straight A student, so it didn't really matter. It's just like just being able to stay home and play like for 12 hours straight. back when
Actually,
people still could.
Speaking of camping out for stuff, do you guys have any good camping out for video game stories?
Oh god, for the Nintendo Wii. Oh god,
That
man.
was a miserable experience for me. Like,
For me, it was terrible because me, my wife, we were dating at the time. We literally had to bar hop between a GameStop that was like 5 miles away and then go to another Target just to get a PlayStation 3. And then after we got the 3, then we had to hop over to the Target to get a Nintendo Wii. And I remember the lines being like almost close to like maybe 100, maybe 200 people. It was like literally wrapping around half around the Target complex.
Wow.
And there were people that were dedicated, man. They had their double layer sweaters on. They had their hot cocoa ready at the go. And probably the most depressing part about this part was when one of the store clerks came out and they said, all right, need to have everyone's attention. We only got 10 in stock.
Yep, exactly.
So whoever these first 10, which we were one of the 10, they are guaranteed to get it. So I'm sorry. Better luck next time. And I remember this one guy walking up to me. He was like, "You like video games, right?" And I was like, "Oh, fucking of course I like video games. Look, I got $500 in my pocket. I'm willing to give it to you. Give me your spot." "Nah, dude, I'm good." And it's like, all right. You play a good bargain. $800. "Ah, dude, I'm good." And my girl's like, "Poppy, that could pay you rich. I'm negotiating here."
It's okay.
No, dude, I'm good. All right. You're pulling my leg. $950
Like,
plus a gift card. Radio Shack. I was like, no, I'm good, man. Take that money and spend it on something that you need. Don't need the Wii right now.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Whatever. He was really mad because I remember seeing him just walking away saying the same story with the last 5 people behind me. In the same story. They already heard him from an earshot away right in front of me, and they knew the spit. And he couldn't get anyone. You know, that's what it meant to be a gamer back then.
Yeah.
You were here for 10 hours. You were camping out in the cold. Sometimes it would rain, which was like the worst case. But you were determined to get that console or that game because you know that it was like the shit.
Yeah.
And I miss those days so much.
Yeah.
Can't do it now because you can just easily do it online.
I can't believe
Battle with the
you order
scalpers.
online. You pick up at the door at the store. That's it. It's not even the same. They don't know.
Not.
They don't know the passion that you have to be to wait in line, shivering and skipping college classes.
High school.
Yeah, college him. Yeah. That wasn't probably the price thing.
Well,
Derek.
I have a very similar story with both the PS3 and the Wii U because did something similar myself. And of course, up here in Canada, so November, so it's significantly colder.
Yeah.
But because I think it was the Friday was the PS3, and then the Sunday I think was the Wii U or something like that. And for us, anyways, and so we camped out at the London Drugs, and as we were kind of camping out, the manager comes out. He's like, "Okay, so we got this many," and so we were like, okay, well, that's how many are here right now. And so there was like this agreement across everybody that if we had to leave for any reason, the spot was saved and all that. The PS3 borderline turned into like a tailgate party by the end of the night. Like we had people going on like rotating coffee runs. We were getting, we had someone brought a TV, so we were actually just sitting out playing video games.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But like in contrast, the Wii U was just an absolute miserable experience because we were camped out at the Superstore, which is like one of our big box grocery chain type places, and basically directly across from there is just open field. And if the guys Jess and Derek know Lethbridge, it's pretty much you have two weather conditions: windy or more windy. So so it's just blowing right into the parking lot at Superstore, and then we're all miserable, we're cold, and then we're just not having a good time like we were 2 nights prior at the London Drugs getting the PS3. And then some teenagers come along and just start hucking eggs at us. And of course,
Oh.
I'm already in a bad mood because I'm cold. So I just like full on tilt chase after them in their car in my socked feet because I had taken my shoes off. It was like cold, miserable. We finally got the Wii U, and it was my buddy Jason and I. Like, he got the PS3 2 days prior, and then I got the Wii on the Sunday. He's just like, I'm never fucking doing that with you again.
Well.
It's a good memory.
Oh, it was a memory.
It now lives in his
PS3
brain.
was a wonderful memory. The Wii U, I would rather scrub from my brain, or the Wii, I should say.
It was a failed attempt.
Oh yeah,
Where they got it right with the Switch.
Yeah.
I don't have much of an exciting story compared to you two, but I had to do it twice.
Ugh. Oh, no.
I did it for the first initial launch for myself, and it was with one of my early paychecks, and then I got in there, but the only story I got really with it was we waited for about 3-4 hours altogether, standing out there in front of the Walmart.
Yeah.
And there's like 6 people in front of me, and it's only the first 12. Exactly what you said. Like, you get 10, or that's it. That's all you got. Me and my buddy was there, and we stood there for 4 hours while it's snowing. And there's a pair of guys that was in their car that was parked really close. But you know what? When the time came, when the guys came out, gave us the red slip to say that you got a Wii. The guy said, dude, like, they came out of the car and said, where's ours? I said, you were in the line, man. I'm sorry. You're comfy in your lovely car while the rest of us are waiting in the freezing cold outside for the last few hours. And then the second time I had to do it was because, for the love of my cousin, at that time I was 22. I was saying, I love my older cousin. He's a Nintendo freak. He got me in my N64 when I was little, so I decided to wait in line again.
For a Wii?
I did that again.
Wow. For the Wii.
That was thankfully 3 hours this time, not 1 less hour.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, like we spent from, I think, 6 p.m. till like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. the next day just chilling outside of the London Drugs and the superstores.
God damn.
The one of the funniest parts was one of the guys, at the London Drugs, he decided to swing by the Future Shop, which was just on the other side of the highway. And he's like, yeah, everyone is angry and miserable over there. And we're straight up just having a party at London Drugs.
Gamer, you gotta love the moment for this.
Yeah.
And like, actually, here's a question. Now, Jess, I'm not sure, did you have a Wii too or no?
I did have a Wii.
Okay.
My story just kind of goes like, I was outside of Target and I tried to get a spot from 10 guys, who were there. I was offering them $500 and $950, and I just never got it. And that's how I met James the first time. It was me, James. It was me the whole time. Just quits. No, the thing is, I never wanted a console that bad, if that makes sense. For one, I'm way younger than all of you guys, in the sense that you guys were at the age where you guys could go over there and hang out. Like, when the PlayStation 2 came out, I think I was like, I don't even know, I think I was like 7 or 8 years old, right? So, I mean, I wasn't going to go stand in line, right, for any of that stuff. And same for the, I think the only console that I got brand new was the PlayStation 2, but that's because my dad used to play a lot of video games. And so my dad got it brand new, put it in the living room, but I never went out to wait for any game. I think the only game that I waited for was Death Stranding. Death Stranding was the only game I waited for, but it wasn't a wait like outside, because it was here in Canada, and the only reason I waited for that game is because for me it was the most anticipated game of all time for me, especially after what happened, right? I mean, Silent Hills was teased, we got the PT, we got all of that, and I was so hyped, and then Konami was like, hey, fuck you fans, you guys aren't getting anything, Kojima is leaving, and blah blah blah, and then I was like, no, and then Hideo comes out with Death Stranding, and with the whole super trailer thing, and I was like, wow, this is amazing, it's gonna be the best game ever. And I remember getting off of work early and literally telling my boss, I'm done with work at like 12 p.m. Can I go home? can I go home? And I just went straight to what is it here? It's EB Games, right? And and I got the collector's edition.
Rebranded.
Yeah, I got the collector's edition, which is actually over there behind Sean. That big box on top of the TV. It's a collector's edition.
And his baby is on the wall.
And I have my BB on the wall.
God.
Right next to me. But that's about it. I've never really been the type of person to go out and wait so long for something. Unless it was Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter back when, the movie was... the book. The book for Harry Potter, I did stand outside of the library and stuff. But yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Books?
Yeah, for books. Well, I mean, Harry Potter, when the last books were coming out...
Oh, dude.
You would have people standing outside of the library, and I was in Chicago at that time, because that's where I grew up. And I remember standing at the Montgomery Public Library outside, because they would only get like 20 books or something like that. So you had to be there to get one out, because because libraries are not going to get like 100 books of the same copy, right? But they did get a lot of Harry Potter books because it was very popular. And so when it came out and you went in, they would be like, okay, there's only 20 copies, and you have to be some of the 20 first people to be there, and I was, and so I got the book, took it home, and read it, because I used to, back in the day, I used to read a lot, back in the day, but yeah. But yeah, sorry, Derek. Yeah, I've never done what you guys have done. And I don't think I ever would, honestly, for a console. Personally, I just don't think it's worth it. Especially when it's a first batch. My wife and I have this thing where it's like, if it's the first batch, we're not getting it because it's probably going to be shit. Let's wait until the revised version comes out in a year. All of the kinks will be gone, and then we'll get it. It's basically what we do.
Yeah, I mean, look at my day one edition Xbox. It's possessed by Satan.
Yes. It turns on by itself. Turns on by itself. But yeah, Derek, you had a question, man. What was your question, dude?
Well, here's the experience. Okay, for the older guys here.
You call it old?
Was the Wii worth it at the end?
Yes, I had a Wii.
No, he's asking if the Wii was worth it.
Oh, waiting for it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's on you. Yeah, that's on you guys, because you all waited for the Wii.
Waiting for it wasn't worth it. Frankly, I ended up going back to my GameCube anyways, even after I had the Wii.
What you, James?
It was worth it. But I would say the only game that me and my girl at the time were just playing. What was that? What was a sample game that came with the Wii?
Oh, Wii Sports.
Wii Sports? That one?
Wii Play before.
We would just play Wii Tennis every day, and then we got real competitive with Wii Bowling.
Oh yes, I was gonna say bowling was the best one, man.
That was a relationship killer.
Yeah.
Like, I got double strikes. What can you do? Double boogie? All right, I guess I'm sleeping on the couch tonight. Jeez. No, it was worth the purchase for me. I'm happy I got the Wii. I still got it in the closet.
Yeah, the Wii's a fun console. Yeah,
still works. I still got the Forming Grill PlayStation 3 in the closet. Still works fine. It is like the best backwards compatible console to have if you want to play old school PlayStation 2 games.
Yeah.
It's still great.
Yeah. Holy cow.
The downside with those consoles is the laser motor will eventually give out. Like right now with my PlayStation Pro, the motor's failing, so I got to tilt it on its side just for gravity to do its thing, and then it works. So that's right now, this is like a really good example for me to just, when I do get an Xbox Series X, it's just get the digital version. I mean, I love owning physical games, as you can see here. I've been going hard with the PlayStation 4. Okay, but I think it just makes sense now just to get digital games. Yeah. Because I just don't want to deal with the hassle of the console failing, then I got to ship it back to Microsoft or Sony, and then wait 3 weeks until it gets back. And I don't want to deal with that. But the PlayStation 4, I don't know. Just got to wait and see with that. But yeah, no, the Wii was a badge of honor. Yeah. I loved it. The Wii U, however,
yeah,
hate it.
The Wii
absolutely
hate it. So good though. I still. I'm mad that the only thing I'm mad about the Wii is that it was like you're playing on 480p the whole time. It's just some bullshit.
Wow. It's the generation of back then. Is the motion control was the hype to play, being more interactive with it.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of where my biggest issue with the Wii lies, is that it ruined some really good games by forcing motion controls on us.
What? No, it was great.
Yeah, but Metroid Prime 3, it's borderline unplayable for me.
Do you remember trying to find the component cables?
Yeah.
Ooh,
That
ooh,
was
ooh.
a nightmare for that system.
Yep.
Holy cow. Mad Cats, I don't know if you guys had that company, third party. They were selling their version, failed in a week. So if you wanted to get an official one, you had to get it from Nintendo, and you had to get it online.
I think I had Intech or something like that. And I think my sister is still using them actually. So,
Damn.
Yeah.
Nintendo, build for life.
Well, no, those were Intech. They were third party, even below Mad Cats.
Yeah.
You remember Pelican?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I remember buying their arcade stick, being like, "Oh, I can finally play fighting games on it," and the buttons were concave, and the joystick was like very inconsistent with the micro switches. And plus, that thing was like
huge.
Yep. It was big.
It was huge.
Yep.
Yeah. It was hilarious when we were going on transit, try to carry that thing around. And it's like, what the heck?
Especially if you're going to tournaments, like, hey, look what I got. It's gonna break in a week.
Yeah.
But good luck spending $150 on that.
No, it's funny how many stupid controller ideas they had in the past.
Oh, if we want to talk stupid peripherals, just everything that came out for the Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
What was it? Akko? It was one of those games from Konami where you had to literally sit outside, and it had actually a light sensor, like a little solar panel sensor on top of it. I forget what I think it's. I gotta look it up. Anyway, it was that was a good game.
Yeah,
I gotta find this.
Those were some stupid peripherals, though. They had a camera, they had a flashlight, they had a printing thing, they had everything on that.
Well, the sheer number of flashlights and like magnifying glasses and all that for the Game Boys, because you couldn't play them. You could only play them from like noon till 12:01 because that was the optimal sunlight to play the game.
Don't backlight yet, and then you only got this trace toner. Oh, go ahead, James. You found it.
The game was called Bankai or a Bangtai. It was from Konami back in the day, and it had like a built-in solar panel sensor to where you can regenerate your light gun to kill enemies.
Oh,
I remember getting a sunburn playing that game a lot.
What?
Yeah, because the game, you can't just you could put a flashlight in front of it to cheat a little, but it actually requires like actual solar rays to charge up the cell and then actually to play the game. I remember just literally sitting outside of college because we had like an hour break from doing our studies and just doing like the gamer hunch and just trying to get the right kind of angle so you could see the screen right and also get the solar panel. So I remember just sitting there for like a good 30 or 40 minutes, and after I had a good playthrough, I'm like, what's wrong with my neck? It feels sore, but it stings. Next thing, it was a sunburn. Of course, this is in Santa Monica. Okay, so we're close to the beach at this point.
That's crazy.
Anywhere close to the beach, you're gonna get a sunburn. I hated that game, but the peripheral was pretty cool.
That was
you do touch on another thing. The Game Boy Advance little wire lights.
Yeah,
Yes.
the worm lights.
I remember
hated
that.
those.
Too.
Scholastic Book Fair. That's all I have to say. You go in there, you buy the case to carry your Game Boy. It comes with the magnifying glass with the the little light that doesn't even work.
Yeah.
It's so.
It's reflective. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I
mean, it was an LED from the early & What did you expect?
It's terrible.
Yeah.
The double A's, they weigh it down. It's bad.
It says this old Game Boy Boktai has a small solar panel on the cartridge. But so I'm just reading a comment real quick on Reddit because I found the thread. It says, this guy says, I lived in a country with crappy weather and had this game. If you held your thumb over the sensor as you booted the game, then took it off once it booted, it made it seem like you were standing directly on the surface of the sun. It made it actually playable. There you go, James.
Wow. Hey, it's 20 years late. That's cool.
Oh, go.
I used it.
Now you know.
Oh, the more you know. I remember the Game Boy Advance just being such a wonderful handheld, and then everyone started making like mods where you can put in LEDs in there.
Yeah.
And they were hard as hell to do, so you actually had to hire someone to do that.
Yep.
But man,
well,
good times.
Everything came together with the SP, which to me is my favorite version of the Game Boy. And I've told my wife I'm gonna buy an SP once we have enough money. Like buy an old SP and buy all of the cool mods, like changing the screen into an ISP one, putting on a new battery, making the backlight even better. And honestly, I'm gonna do all of that just so I can play Pokemon Emerald, and that's it.
Sure.
I don't care. That's it.
Honestly, dude, go talk to my sister. I don't think she's used her SP in like 10 years.
I need it. Oh, your sister's cool with me, so I think she'll let me. I'll have to ask her. But yeah, the SP was that was I think those were like the pinnacle of handhelds. I know the Switch exists, right? I don't have a Switch, but I know that the Switch is really, really good. But I think the Game Boy Advance. I remember when everybody had one.
My biggest criticism of the SP, and it's 100% because I have stupid giant hands, is that it was really cumbersome to get to play it because it was so small.
Yeah.
That's why even though I had an SP, I still went back to my Game Boy Advance because it was just easier to hold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's why I liked the DS, because it was nice and spread out and relatively comfortable.
First world problems.
Do you remember the Micro? The Advanced Micro?
No,
I have it.
Yeah.
You have one?
I still have it. It works. Yes.
No
way. It's in the closet of mysteries. It's all my old school consoles are in there, man.
We need just a YouTube video of you showing off your collection.
No one would want that.
I want that. I want to see it all.
I'm genuinely curious.
This is my PS3 4-main grill where I do all my barbecues. So I want to see
You don't want to put too long on the grill. You want to lightly glaze some barbecue sauce on top of it. Not too thin, but thick enough where it grabs.
I think. Oh man, but yeah, no, handheld games. The Game Boy Advance was top tier. I know a lot of people try to reproduce it, but it's just Nintendo had so many good things going back then, and they still do. Like the thing about Nintendo is that they come out with such good games all the time.
Yeah,
they're so good.
Well, the other great thing about Nintendo is they have 120 plus years of money that they can just screw up and it doesn't even affect them any.
Well, they've been really careful with their IP, which I think I commend them for. For as kind of, how would I call this? Like, just they can be mean about it, very petty.
Yes.
But they have protected their IP. Do I agree with it all? No, but they've done a good job. And definitely taking care of their mascot, Mario. Not what happened to Sonic. Not what happened to... Because, I mean, as much as Sonic is beloved, they, Sega really kind of screwed the pooch in a lot of areas with Sonic. Yeah. So
Sonic Heroes, that game glitches like no tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, the Xbox version was the worst.
Oh,
Jesus.
Yep.
Thank God I had the GameCube version.
Yeah.
GameCube is so underrated, man.
Oh, it is. I mean, who else would put a handle on a game console?
Good point.
I know people laugh at it, but when you have it, it's so useful.
Oh, it is. I wish I had the version with the other output port, because then I could go actual full HD with it. But
yeah, unfortunately,
the Super Smash Bros. Melee Edition Silver console didn't have it, so...
Yeah.
I hated that phase back in the day. Like, you want a GameCube? You're going to get the Silver. Get the Platinum Edition.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're right. But you should get the Platinum version of the Game Boy Advance. Complete the collection. I'm like, Nintendo, come on, man. You got my money. You don't need my bank account.
Yeah.
We ate it up.
Yeah.
We legit ate it up. I can't get a black, not PlayStation, but I can't get a black GameCube without my black Game Boy Advance. But you couldn't get a black Game Boy Advance. It was an import version of it.
Yeah.
And then came the adapter that connected to the GameCube underneath it, where you could play Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, the little opening hatch. Yeah.
I still got to get a Game Boy player one of these days.
That's what it is. Yeah, Game Boy player. I mean, people were going nuts over that. I still can't find one today.
They're not easy.
But I would love to go back in that.
Yeah, you could play like Pokemon on there. Yeah.
The hardest part is finding the disc. Like, you can find the actual attachment. It's finding that disc, because you need both.
Yes.
Oh, shoot.
The GameCube was and that opening screen, does it get better than that? I don't think it does.
Yeah, you hold down the Z button and it changes.
Oh, it does. I know it does, but I mean, just the original.
Yeah.
Like, it's so perfect.
And then you time your press of the A button for just as it's about to finish, and it does the spin. And
Yes. So perfect, man. Nintendo, you really did something great there. Derek, you've been really quiet, man. You didn't have a
all the lovely consoles, and then I realized I broke 4 advances in my life.
Oh,
Game Boy Advances
What?
with one game. You won't believe what game it is. You won't believe what game it is that broke the D-pad and the R triggers.
Pokemon Pinball.
No. It is
No.
so weird. It's by Konami, and the one time they ever released this, and they never ever came out again.
Which
Zone
one?
of the Enders.
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
yeah, I can believe that.
Damn. What was wrong? Wait, you gotta tell me. I'm confused.
So Zone of the Enders, when they came out with this, it's sort of like Final Fantasy Tactics. You move all your characters around, but instead of saying, "Oh, I'm going to attack you," and you go dodge, so it's like they basically give you like a icon cursor, so you're moving a targeting retinal in the game, so you're mashing the D-pad to escape getting shot at, and then you're trying to mash the D-pad to actually shoot your enemy, the orbital frames, same time.
Oh my god. Okay, that would actually piss me off.
I broke each one of the D-pads because I was pushing so hard to escape,
Yeah.
and then the R trigger to shoot. And you're looking at the advance.
Oh god, battle scars right there.
Yeah. And I got calluses where my thumbs are from that.
I believe you. I believe you, man.
No kidding.
Yeah.
But
I want to touch on something like very briefly. I think this is something that has been missed, even with the current gen consoles. Boot up screens. I miss them because when you mentioned about the GameCube, I'm like, Dreamcast logo, PlayStation 2.
Yep.
Just that simple little.
The good old Sega back in the 90s.
And then you hear the Sonic music. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I do agree.
good time.
But I also do commend for how far we're going with technology because, virtually with an SSD nowadays, you don't have at all any wait times, right?
No load times.
No load times at all. You have to get an SSD. And hard drives are just going out the window. And I mean, of course, you want hard drives to keep everything, but an SSD even on a computer to boot it, right? You turn on your PC and it's like you're already ready in 5 seconds. And but yeah, no, the boot times. I mean, the boot screens. They're sorely missed. It was like an identity, like a part of the identity of that. And I think that's one of the reasons why GameCube did it so well is because it's so unique. And even the Wii, like even just the music in general.
Yeah.
Why is Nintendo so good at what they do with that? Like the Nintendo Wii Shop music?
I repeat, 125 plus years of playing this game.
Nintendo has their own orchestra, basically. On their back end to do all their theme songs and everything.
I wonder who's richer, Nintendo or Bandai?
Nintendo.
Ooh. Well, Nintendo does do work with Bandai from time to time. They worked on Smash Brothers.
Yeah, they borderline own Bandai almost.
Nintendo so they're worth $95 billion.
Yeah.
And Bandai I think you're right. I think they're only worth Bandai is only worth 6.72.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's like 10 times. Oh my god.
That's what I mean. Nintendo can take risks, screw up, and bounce back with no effort.
Yeah.
That is true.
Hence the reason the Virtual Boy didn't even phase them. And the Wii U, really.
Remember the Super Scope? That didn't last.
That was just dumb.
Or the mouse. The mouse and the paint pad.
The mouse actually served a purpose, and because Mario Paint was kind of actually, well, it was like, I think it was like baby's first kind of video game programming, almost. Like you could almost get some rudimentary games out of it. But yeah, no, that Super Scope was dumb because it was like, what, 2 games that I think it worked on?
Actually, it's supposed to be 2 games, but one actually worked.
Wow.
See? Like I said.
The pioneers have paved the way to what we have nowadays. It's just...
Oh, yeah. Well, shoot. If we want to talk about pioneers, think about this thing.
Hey-oh.
Or not.
You guys remember the infrared to play the duck game on the?
No, that's for Killzone for back on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, but even then, that's still new technology. Talk about like actual infrared.
Actually, Duck Hunt didn't use infrared. It was a little camera in the zapper that looked for a white square.
Oh,
And
really?
It's why you cannot play it on a modern TV because the refresh rate's too fast.
You're right. Every time they pulled the trigger, it flashed the screen.
Yep.
Which I couldn't believe that time for all the epilepsy situations at that point.
Yeah,
we were
same
we
kind
were
of
learning
tech
as
they
human
use,
beings.
Yeah, they use that tech for like Time Crisis. What was that zombie game from Sega?
House of the Dead.
House of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't bother me as a kid.
Talking about the
I know
arcade
for
one.
some people did. Yeah.
Yeah, for like when you're waiting, like the old school times where movie theaters had arcades, and you would just play House of the Dead for a while you're waiting to go watch your movie.
Dude, I'll be
movie
finding
theater spirit.
virtual on, please. Give me the pilot seat. Give me the
Yes.
2 trick.
Wasn't there a Jurassic Park one too?
There's still that thing is still around.
The Chuck E. Cheese one, right?
Yeah, because Derek and I went to New Horizon today, and they have the Jurassic Park arcade game in that what is it, Kids Castle or something like that?
You guys were at the kids' castle.
Well, no, we walked past the Kids Castle.
Yeah, that's what they all say. They were sitting there playing, but
You get 2 grown guys sitting in the kids' play area. Reminiscing about games.
What I wouldn't put it past us to do something that stupid.
yeah, you're right. Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
You're right.
It's fun. It is a lot of fun. You can't reminisce it like the old days of actually going out. Like, don't get me wrong, consoles, PCs, all that stuff. Like good old days of just going to the arcade, hanging out with, throwing some quarters in, and then just hanging out, playing Street Fighter, and say, "Do not next person in up. Your next you're up." Right?
Yeah.
King of the hill, basically whoever's last man standing.
It breaks my heart that I was just born a little bit too late to really enjoy the arcade boom.
Yeah, dude, it was a special time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I go back and watch a movie like Tron, I'm like, man, I was born too late.
Yeah.
There was like so many wild things that was anime and mecha based. Like I remember when I first think there was a actual arcade unit that actually had Robotech on there. I thought that was hilarious. It's like Raiden 4, but it was like Robotech. I'm like,
more, please.
yes.
Well, I mean, it would have blown my mind to find out that games like Life Force and all that I was playing on the NES had actual good arcade versions of them. Because Life Force on NES, not great. I put a lot of hours into trying to get through the first stage and never accomplishing it.
Oh man, it's a limit of technology we had back then. Just trying to do a decent port of Turtles in Time was like a challenge.
Oh
for
yeah,
the original Nintendo system. It worked. It got the job done. You know, I really need to buy an arcade 1-up cabinet. I've been really hesitant to buy one of those because I only have one. I would love to get the Turtles and the Ninja Turtles one, or what was the other one?
You mean Battletoads?
Oh. I would love for them to do like a Terminator 2 version of an arcade 1-up. That'd be neat. I remember when that game came out, people were just like, "Dude, did you see Terminator 2? Yeah, but they got an arcade version of it. Sick. Let's go."
Yep.
I on my arcade bucket list is to get a Killer Instinct cabinet. I just want to get one of those.
There's one coming out. There's actually one coming from Arcade 1-up. They actually are working on one.
Oh, because about 8 years ago, when I was working a job that paid stupid amounts of money, I was actually on the verge of buying an old Killer Instinct cabinet. But I looked at the space that I was living in, and I was like, yeah, I just can't put that here. It's like when you get out of college and you're being paid $30 an hour, you don't know what to do with that money. Like,
yeah, man, I miss those days.
Yeah.
Responsibility. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want to grow up. I don't like you guys.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Oh, cute.
Even Toys R Us went down the drain.
Video games.
Yeah, Derek and I were in the Toys R Us at Cross Iron Mills because that's where we parked.
Were you guys just children at Cross Iron Mills today?
I mean, kinda, but shut up. I had beer. I'm an adult. But like, we walked through there, and it's like it's like the shelves aren't nearly as packed as they used to be. Like the game section there's nothing actually out on the shelves. It's
sad. It's actually
it was exceptionally depressing.
It's
dead, man.
They just put a flyer on the wall with all the games and some pricing tags right there. That's all they have. There's no physical copies. Yeah. And then you look at the gaming accessories. There's just your controllers. That's it. There's no other peripherals. It's like
it's like a crap ton of Funko Pops and like vinyl figures, and it was just so depressing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's dead.
James, be grateful that they went under down there.
Dude. I took my wife to the to one Toys R Us tour where I bought my very first console, which was a Sega Saturn, and I literally saw it being tore down. It broke my heart because I remember my mom giving me, because my mom and my father divorced very, very early in their marriage, and she always felt bad because she never really celebrated my birthday with me. So she felt real bad one day, and she's like, "Look, I'm working 2 jobs, but here's what you're gonna do. There's $200. I know you wanted that game console, and here's like additional $20 so you can take the bus, get yourself something to eat, and then come back here." Ooh. And I remember that feeling very vividly because it was like my very first experience being very independent.
Yeah.
Getting on the public transportation, going to a place that I've never been, getting the game console. Keep in mind, I couldn't get any games. I was just getting the Sega Saturn system. And the nice lady in the counter was like, "Wait, you're buying a Sega Saturn? Hold up, I got something for you. Here, Sega's doing a promotion where you get 3 free games. Which was Virtual Fighters 2, Time Cop, or Virtual Cop, and Daytona USA. Played the hell out of those games, and that memory has always been stuck to me forever because I never could get anything in Toys R Us as a kid because I knew better as a kid not to bug my parents because they were struggling with being in and out of jobs, and plus they were being parents. You couldn't point like, "Mom, I want all those Gunpla." Please. Yeah. Back in the day, your mom gave you the nice in the head, but that's not. No, my mom's not like that. Just, Mom, if you're watching, I know you're not like that. But no, that's such a good memory with Toys R Us.
Yeah.
And the old classic KB toy stores. It's just that feeling of going in there and just letting your mind open up with the possibilities of things that you can't get, but it's good to look at them.
Yeah.
It feels good. Yeah, but all the Toys R Us here, they're gone. I heard that they're making some kind of resurgence in a mall.
They keep attempting, but it seems like it falls apart.
It's not going to work. Well, you can't recapture the same magic as it was years ago. No. Like, for one, I barely ever hear people talking about toys anymore. And two, again, you just can't capture the magic. I remember, when I was younger and I would go to school and, I was a straight A student, every time I'd bring the report card home, for all the straight A's that I got, my dad would take us, my sister and I, to Toys R Us and buy us whatever we wanted, right? But there was that magic of walking into Toys R Us, and I remember specifically the one that I used to go to had the Lego section right near the entrance, and as a kid, looking at all the Legos and thinking about all the possibilities and everything, and just being able to be like, "Yeah, Dad, I want this," right? And boom, taking it home I had a whole bucket full of Legos the size of Derek. It was just standing up, in the garage and in my room. And nowadays, I don't think that exists anymore. I don't think kids nowadays care too much about toys as they used to. And I'm not talking about a super old person kind of vibe, but it's not there anymore. It's not there anymore.
Well, I mean, I remember birthdays. I would get $20 for my grandma because she lived up north in BC, so she couldn't be there for my birthday. Yeah. And so it would be a yearly tradition that I'd get my birthday card, and it would be about roughly $20. And basically, the next weekend that my dad had custody of my sister and I, we would go to Toys R Us, and I would pick up something that was roughly about $20. I mean, some toy purchases were absolute mistakes, and some were literal gold mines that I still have today. I mean, my Transmetal 2 Transmetal Rat Trap I still have. and that was one of the birthday gifts. But I also bought like this stupid radio controlled Godzilla that you just push a button on the thing and it goes as far as the cable goes. And it wasn't even a good Godzilla. It was from the 98 Roland Emmerich film.
Oh, that's a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, good times.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Back, yeah, one back.
I'm feeling more older by the second.
No, that's a good thing because we're sharing this because I've never shared this story with anyone besides you gentlemen, and I think it's great because it just gives us even more things in common, you know.
Yeah.
And it obviously didn't scar us as a kid, as adults. It obviously just didn't make us bad people.
No.
You know, in fact, you know, when the time comes, you know, because it might happen to any of us when we have kids, we're gonna look back at what we grew up and see what's good and bad, and try not to, you know, impose that onto our kids. We're not going to spoil them. Keep in mind, you won't make them work hard with what they need to get.
For sure, yeah.
But you know,
they'll also look at our adult toys and they'll be like, "Ooh, I want to play with that," and then you beat your child because they can't touch something.
Do you know how much that 3.8 toy costs? It's not even a toy; it's a collectible. Only 350 exists in the world, and now it's 300 less.
Yeah.
Well, I think despite having like all the toys, because I did have a lot of toys when I was younger, I did learn to love my toys. For as much as my parents were, you know, I was fortunate enough to be able to get toys, a lot of them. Like, I would always take care of them, and it goes till today. Like I've talked about it on the show during Fridays and stuff. It's like that's why whenever I see my kids or whatever, I keep them nicely cleaned, or I dust them off with a little brush every once in a while, because I like to have them nice and clean. Up until my brother was born, who wanted to always grab my Legos and shit and break them. I love them, but you know, it's that kind of different kind of lifestyle that I don't think is much alive anymore.
Yeah.
I don't. Derek, you okay? You gonna cry, Derek?
Oh no, I'm just reminiscing, like getting to the point of like buying my first Transformers. Like I had everything from Beasties. I loved every last bit of those Transformers, and we played crazy, and we got Lego. We like all those things. Like Toys R Us was a great place for us.
Yeah.
For all the way up until I think the second recession we really hit in Canada, the really big. Then it started puddle down their stock, and they used to do like winter specials where you buy 3 games for like $30 or $40, and I used to go up early to go wait in line to buy those games for my PlayStation 2, and man.
Honestly, it feels like only within the last 5 or 6 years that Toys R Us up here has kind of slipped, which makes sense. It was kind of when the US fell apart on Toys R Us, because I mean you could go in there back then and it's like they had like the exclusives, like the Legacy Collection Power Rangers stuff, like got the Dragon Dagger, the Saba, the Morphers and all that. But now it's like you go in there and it's like everything looks cheap, everything looks like it's gonna break in about a week and a half, and you're just kind of thoroughly underwhelmed by everything you see.
I mean,
well, the market, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's just the convenience now. I find too is like, you know, you can go on Amazon. Lego actually now has their own individual Lego stores. Let alone now you go want to pick it up at any other location. Is like you just see a little bit.
Well, but the weirdest part is you go into the toy section at Walmart and you're like, oh, this is kind of nice. But yeah, you go into Toys R Us and you're like, I feel like I'm walking into a funeral.
what?
Oh damn!
I disagree. I think Walmart toys are shit even now. Whenever I've seen them.
I don't know. Maybe I've been to a couple of decent Walmarts where they stock the shelves relatively well, but
Like with what? Everything looks so plastically and bad.
Oh,
Like I think the problem now is that
I'm meaning more like the facing in general. It's like they actually put effort into facing the department, because Derek and I, there was so many empty spaces at Toys R Us today when we were there.
Yeah,
it was like legitimately, it felt like we were going into the funeral of Toys R Us.
it is. It kind of is. They're kind of just waiting for it to die. That's basically what's happening. But yeah, now we're being all sad and stuff, guys. Those were great memories. Toys R Us. Thank you for giving us memories and being there for us to buy all the toys that we wanted. But
thanks for letting us be '90s kids.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Thanks for
early
introducing
2000s too.
Pogs.
But yeah, no. Yeah, time goes by and things change and all of that. But hey, I'm also very happy with how things have in some way turned out. Unfortunately, I think the biggest culprit, and even now we're on there on Twitch, belongs to Amazon. So Amazon has destroyed so many things that we would normally go and get physically. Like even today, like I woke up this morning, my wife was like, "We need cat litter, and I told her we need some lotion because I always put on lotion after I take a shower." And all I did was go onto Amazon, order it, and it arrived literally an hour before the show.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jeez.
Yeah,
damn.
it was today. Like Sean can even attest to this, that they rang the doorbell because everything was here.
Yeah, I literally was like, "Why the fuck is the doorbell going off?" Because none of us ordered food.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's my stuff. So,
Indie delivery. That's nuts.
Yeah. But with that, James, thanks for being on here, man, talking about your games. I know you want to go play Ghost of Tsushima. I understand, man.
No, actually, it's like dark right now. My birds are like outside, so. And my good old little buddy Kuze is just probably looking at the windows like he's not coming in. He's not gonna let us in. Just keep looking. Leave it yourself, Kuze. Then you'll get really excited.
No,
man, this was a treat. I would love to do more like this with you guys again.
For
this
sure.
was fun.
Yeah, that's what No Great Sessions is about, just for us to chill, nothing super serious. And Derek, Sean, I'll let you guys say whatever you guys need to say.
I mean, pretty much got nothing much to say other than, shameless plugging my Twitch channel this week. Digimon on Tuesday, Borderlands with Derek and Kevin on Thursday. That's about it, really.
Nice.
Oh, and my review on Monday morning.
Yeah, he has a review coming out on we can tell everybody, Dukemon, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun.
I'll be checking that out.
Thanks.
There you go.
And Derek.
Oh, I thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you James for joining me again. It was a lot of fun and reminiscing. It's not sad. I'm actually just reminiscing and oh man, to relive lots of things again like that. And then today just to do what we do. So
Nostalgia is good in quantities. It's good in quantities.
exactly.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, with that said, we will see you guys here on Wednesday with What's Up Discord. And tomorrow we have a review going up and a review on Friday too. Remember to go watch all the reviews that we have up, along with a new video essay that we came out with yesterday of the Evangelion endings and all of that, which I actually was editing for 9.5 hours yesterday. Fuck.
Yeah. Go watch it. It's great.
Oh, thanks, James. Thanks, man.
Please go watch it.
Thanks, man. But yeah, anyway, guys, we'll see you guys here. Thanks, James, again. And with that said, have a great night and take care, guys.